Good afternoon. I'm very pleased to welcome Engineer Mariam Al Balooshi, UAE State Negotiator for the aviation climate change. Thank you very much for being with us at this ICAO's conference that's happening here in the capital, Abu Dhabi. Straight to the point, SAF, as you know, UAE has a very bullish plan. Where are we with that in terms of implementation and the timelines? And let's be realistic here.
Okay, so SAF is now in the top of the agenda of the international global communication and discussion, either with ICAO or other regions. So UAE stepped in 2021 when we established the National Committee of Aviation Fuel, and this includes the two streams, the LCAF, Lower Carbon Aviation Fuel, and Sustainable Aviation Fuel. So with the leadership of His Excellency Suhail Al-Mazrou'i, the Minister of Energy and Infrastructure, and the support of the General Civil Aviation Authority, we've been working closely with all the stakeholders and supply chain when it comes to the SAF. We were proudly able to announce the first power to liquid visibility study in 2021, actually 2022, then followed by the Sustainable Aviation Fuel roadmap for the UAE in 2023. And both complementing each other. Then it was included by the endorsement of the SAF policy in COP28 by the cabinet. So today we are more seeking for the implementation, the execution of all these good studies that happened in a very short time. If you compare it with other regions, for example, United States and Europe, who's advancing in the SAF, they took more than 30 years to come with their plans, actions, and...
While you have a 1% SAF target by 2030.
2030, yes, as per the UAE policy, published policy.
Yes, with all the stakeholders, including the carriers, all the national carriers, all of them. And you feel basically confident that you will reach the target by 2030. What is beyond that, the 1%?
So 1%, it might look like as a number, it's a small number.
Yes.
But in realistic life, it means that we are building a new infrastructure, a new transitioning era where the supply chain need to change. And we are talking about a big challenge still there, a big elephant in the room, which is the price.
Yes,
and
which might affect the traveler.
The travelers and the cost of the tickets in the future, which we are trying to avoid as much as we can.
The airlines are resisting this.
The airlines are resistant, but if it happened, they have to cascade it to the passengers, which is going to be the worst scenario that we might face. Because as of today, we can see the connectivity is high. And you don't want to touch the connectivity and touch the economic of the state. And
with UAE being a hub, basically.
And UAE aviation is a backbone in the UAE. So going back to the 1%, the 1% will be, inshallah, achievable by 2030 with the collaboration of all the stakeholders. Still, feedstock is an issue, but I think ESAF is an opportunity. Mastar is well engaged.
ESAF is a massive opportunity for much more than 1%, correct?
Yes.
What is the target in this regard? Where are we with ESAF?
Well, let's first be realistic and reach 1% because we are talking about 4 years from now, 2030.
Yes, which is tomorrow, so to
30
speak.
or 31. And you know, we in Dubai, when we came in 2023 with the CAF goal, 5%. By 2030, it's a global target, but each state has to work its part to reach that global target. So 5%, again, it might be a small number, but in reality, and the global commitment, it's going to be massive production needed to reach that target. So as of today, statistically, we have only the amount of SAF available in the world, it's 0.05.
Mostly in California.
Mostly by 2030 will be focused in United States and Europe. And this is what we are trying to avoid, that it should not be restricted in certain region or states. And we want to distribute the production and everywhere where the airlines are connected. So today the big challenge is to have the SAF available everywhere with the right technology, with the right prices, with the feedstock that can be certified by ICAO, because today the supply chain is not about producing SAF. SAF being produced always.
Yes.
But the supply chain with the current sustainability criteria of ICAO, it's different today. So any feedstock or any manufacturer who wants us to be using its SAF to be, the airline to be rewarded or using it as an offsetting within CORSIA, which is carbon offsetting reduction scheme in the international aviation, they have to have the CORSIA's label. So this means that they will go through a massive review of the sustainability criteria, life cycle analysis.
Before we reach the 1% SAF, basically, UAE also has the LCAF, right?
Yes.
So where are we in this regard?
So it's we don't have LCAF as a production today, but UAE, along with other regional states, we were advocating for a transitioning energy.
Which is, yeah.
Because we know that if you want this sector to continue, you mean that you need to move wisely, gradually toward the right quantity of the SAF. So in 2018, we stepped in along with Saudi Arabia, ADNOC and Aramco to come with the concept of lower carbon aviation fuel. Yes, it's a fossil fuel based, but with lower carbon intensity of 10 to 15%. So we are now in the process of finalizing the certification requirements for the LCAF, because if it's not certified, no one will purchase it. So LCAF, the way I say it, it's a new generation of the current jet fuel.
Yes.
So it's a next generation which will help the sector to transition towards that.
Do you think that we will start having this soon?
Yes. It's not about the production, it's about the certification more. The technology is available, inshallah. And we are promoting and advocating LCAF to not just be based in the UAE or Saudi Arabia or the region, the GCC region. We are talking to international oil supplier to change the way they produce today the jet fuel.
What are the obstacles?
Technology. Because people, the misunderstanding, people think LCAF, it's a ready-made. It's just you twist the refinery and it will be produced. No. The process will need to be, oil producers, they need to invest, they need to change the technology. Alhamdulillah, in the UAE and the region, we have the most advanced refinery that can produce LCAF easily with a twist and the investment. Cost. But with other international regions,
players, they are a bit doubtful. They prefer to go to SAF straight away.
They prefer, but they have the chance if they are willing to change their refineries, the processing of the current raw material.
Hydrogen is my last question. UAE, the rest of the region also have a very solid agenda for this implementation and timelines.
So we are one of those who's pioneering in the region on the hydrogen production. It's in the pipeline. We know that there is a need to build a new infrastructure. We need to have, especially with the new Al Maktoum airport coming, there is a competition between the producer that they want to be in the market, but there is a cost that we have to embed in the infrastructure, because hydrogen precisely is non-drop-in, where we cannot mix it with other mode of
So UAE is committed to pursuing the journey in full.
Yes, we are committed.
Engineer,
we are committed to lead.
As usual with the UAE, inshallah. Engineer Mariam, thank you very much for being with us today.